Hey everybody, and welcome back to Rogue Legacy New Game Plus. One thing that I didn't notice until I looked at thumbnails, default thumbnails of uploading, was that the sky is now blue instead of red. Blue's my favorite color, so this is definitely better, so New Game Plus wins. If you don't remember from last time, we ended up picking a dragon, Sir Glauber III, as our next heir. So I'm going to have tunnel vision, as you can see on the bottom of that card there, which basically means that I don't get notifications from fireballs being off screen, stuff like that. It's kind of hard to notice that sort of thing, just because when it's there, it's useful. When it's not there, you don't notice it. Before I go, one of the things that I am going to do is actually change my last rune here. If you note, I have a balance rune on, which is going to give me 1 hit point and 1 mana every single time I kill something. We're going to switch that to a vampire rune, and that's because our mana naturally regenerates as a dragon, so that extra 1 point isn't actually going to help. Now we do have infinite mana on this screen, but considering that the only way I can attack is by breathing 11 mana cost fireballs, I pretty much have to do that. So our goal here is to get as far as possible, and preferably beat the game a second time, right? We definitely want to get a lot of money. I'm going to have to get used to flying again. Just the fact that we're basically forever flying is interesting. But it does allow for a lot of cool stuff, like being able to ignore these guys down on the ground. Mostly, until they do stuff like that. Just basically be an opportunist. Facing the wrong direction there does not help, though. Alright. You know, I think we're going to make a push towards the forest. Since the forest is kind of like our... Ooh. Oh, that was really bad. So whenever I get knocked out of flying, I have to re-enter it. Man, that Doom Trit took a lot more out of me than I was really hoping for it to. Take care of you before we get any further. Because we're not swinging a sword, we're actually a little bit more vulnerable. Because I have to make sure that I'm lined up right instead of having that crescent sweep in front of me. But it means that positioning is significantly more important. Oof, that was close. I can just stand on the ground. This is something I can do. This is really challenging, actually. It's going to take 2 hits to kill that, unfortunately. Oh, darn it, that did hit me. Well, this could be a significantly shorter episode than I was hoping. I knew being a dragon would be tough. I was not expecting it to be this tough. Mostly because we're not doing the damage that I was hoping we'd be doing. We were still almost one-shotting stuff in the castle, and that was not the case. Of course, that Doom Trit definitely took advantage of my lack of experience as a dragon, since it's been a few episodes. I need to run away from this tier. Every single hit counts, and our low HP does not help. Ooh, nice. Really needed that. Oof. I stopped flying for a half second and forgot that I was flying. Because you do keep flying between rooms. Well, that made that mistake not matter nearly as much. Okay, that would have been nice to not have done. I'm very curious what happens here. Okay, I get 5 axes. I don't know what would have... Oh no! Oh, I still have 5 axes. Ooh, that... Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. That's some new game knowledge. Maybe it's a little bit more for me, because I think about how some of this stuff is coded. But this is basically coded... I don't think I'm going to succeed. Yeah, no, there's more than 10 there. Still some gold. But yeah, no, it's coded that now I now have axes instead of fire breathing while I'm present in here. That's really cool. Once we chose that, we now have axes. I'm pretty sure it's going to go back to normal when we leave this room, but that's how they coded it, to replace your fire breath with that, which makes sense. Yeah, we're back to normal, but if we come back in, he's going to taunt us for not having gotten 10 targets. Okay. That was fun. That was actually really interesting. Some interesting insight. As I said, probably only interesting to me, but luckily there's some knockback on that, because I can't just forever spam these things. As you noticed, some of them went through. I'm gonna wait for my mana to recover a little bit. I can barely get the angle to shoot him. I can't move up or down, or I can't move down and then back up to get that line up without getting hit again, I'd bet. Your arcs are good, but my dodging is better. Heh, no jumping. No jumping, you say. Good thing, because I can't jump. Sweet, so we got some HP. All these fairy chests are going to contain stat ups for us, which is amazing. Okay, so we found the forest. I'm going to leave those... this is the Maya? Damn. Okay, I actually don't want to mess with anything in the Maya. I don't trust my my damage to be as good. Oh, darn it. Really? I don't know if I twitched up with my thumb, or if I just entered that room already in the spikes. That is a lot of money. That is just 1,000 gold straight up. There is a lot of flying dangers in this. Oh, goodness. I do still have my dash runes, which I need to remember. Okay, I've run out of mana. Okay, I'm getting away. I'm just far enough away that... Okay. Far enough away that those two wouldn't, but this room is just filled with those eyes, apparently. That drumstick is invaluable, though. Oof, that was close. Luckily, we managed to get... I managed to space those blasts out far enough that they did both hit. Although the one hit with the very edge of its hitbox. It's one of those things that I'm going to have to develop, is a sense of timing. For when I can... How fast I can spam and still hit. That's probably something I should have taken the time on the dummy in the previous room to actually do. Or, well, the previous room. I mean the, outside the castle. Alright, this room is effectively trivial, because they fire on the same interval. I can just drop down. Of course, if I had gotten hit there, I would have felt like a fool. You can tell... Oh... That reflex to do that is just really strong. That's fun. So this is going to be the darkness. Yep. And then this is going to be the forest. Beautiful. I'm actually really hoping to find the boss in the forest, because Alexander works on basically overwhelming you with a bunch of skulls, a bunch of little skulls. And I think that being a dragon is a pretty good counter to that, if only for the fact that it's a lot easier to dodge stuff. When you're stuck to the ground and jumping, as long as you have multiple jumps, it's easier. Which is, of course, something that I've said constantly is that I like to do, because having that extra mobility is really useful. And actually, I have made a mistake. I changed my vampirism rune. I did not change my double jump rune. Yeah, I tried spamming that one too fast, but that one took hold. So I kind of did half of it right, half of it wrong. Something I'll have to remember in the future. Even making that another dash rune might have been useful. So that's where tunnel vision actually hurt me, because usually in a room like this, you actually get to see the indicators flying down. But I did not get that. Oof. This is a lot of damage for very little reward that I'm getting here. Really? Huh. This is another fun little thing that, I guess is kind of partial to being a dragon, because I destroyed the vase underneath this one. Which you normally can't do with just a swing of a sword, and so the other one stayed floating. Funny. Alright, and now we just have to go down, which should be pretty easy as a dragon. I can almost travel as fast as the fire. But now... oh, goodness. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So much danger. I'm not a fan right now. Okay, I'm at a really dangerous level here. Okay. Making sure to be very careful not to tap up or down on the control stick. Oof. Yep. So I went for... oh, Death Defy. Oh my gosh, is that the first time we've seen that actually happen? Awesome. I think that's the first time we've seen a Death Defy happen. I'm not joking. That is... oops. That is the one stat that it's one of the upgrades that I talked about getting, and how I wasn't sure if it was worth it. Because it's like, I think I'm at like a 15% chance to Death Defy. And it just doesn't happen. Okay. That worked. I had to take that step back so that if I had just spammed the shot, the second one would have gone through. And if I had waited long enough, I think it would have been able to reach me, which would have been lethal damage. This forest is also very linear. We've had some very linear forests that I remember. I'm okay with it. There's really no problem with that. It's just, it means that there's not so much in terms of trying to figure out the layout or decisions about where to go next. It's pretty, you know, go here, do that. That time I did just choose to spam fireballs, because backing up into those spikes would have likely also proven lethal. Wargs are definitely bad. They are not things that I want. I am really close to dead. In fact, I'm probably one hit from dead, to the point where I don't even want to deal with that room. I don't want to deal with this room either. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is go back to the castle. Or, you know what, I can just check down here, see what's here. Okay, capable of dealing with that, luckily. Ah! The dodges must be real. Oof. I am better at throwing fire than you. Oof, that was really close. He almost ran into me. So I'm pretty sure these guys are actually still shielded. Nope. Yep, they are. They're still shielded if you hit them from the front with a fireball. That's okay. Having infinite fireballs works in my favor. But I will take a little bit of effort to get there. Okay. I actually have to be pressed against the ground to pick up coins. It will take more hits to kill you, but I'm healing quite a bit off each kill, so it's not that big of a deal. This room was actually very nice. It could have been very mean. But luckily there were some pretty intense dodges going on there. Oh, the eternal debate. I hate myself. Well, that worked out pretty good. Hyperion's Ring. I sadly do not know off the top of my head what that does. Oh, we are so close to lethal right now. Oops. Alright, we've got a bunch of gold though, so that's a positive. What's in this room? Oh my. Well, I'll come back to that. I definitely want to get that, but I want some health first, so that it's not a take a hit, die sort of thing. Darn it. I was very, what's the right word? I was very hesitant there, because sometimes these rooms have enemies in them. And while I could have made it if I had just dashed, same thing as the previous room. I don't want to trade my life for a chance at a single stat up. Because the longer I live, wow, I didn't deserve that. I did not deserve that. Thank you, game. Thank you so much. My finger twitched up. I'm now using the D-pad to get through there on the Xbox controller, but normally I was just using the control stick. Oh wow, and I totally forgot about that too. So this game has been very nice to me, despite my rather... what's the word I'm looking for? I'm having trouble finding words apparently today. I don't want to use the word ballsy, but my contempt for safety, despite speaking of attempting to be safe. This is the better play. It's safer and has better chances, but then I'm going to go run my head into these spikes. Sounds legit. Very much do as I say, not as I do. Okay, well this is good to know exists. It's really only good for the health. Because as I've stated, our mana recharges. I think I'm just going to clear the castle. This castle is very linear. This is a giant... Like, I've seen maps that aren't even half this long. Okay, once again, transitioning back to the D-pad. So that I don't run my head into the spikes. Since apparently I'm prone to randomly twitching upwards. Pick up 40 gold in this room. So I actually have to land to do this. So I'm actually going to take a running start, and then the second I hit it, start flying upwards, because I'm pretty sure that dropping down, opening, trying to fly, and getting back up won't be fast enough. And that seemed to be fast enough. I'm not gonna complain. I was like 1,000 something, 1,320 probably, based on what I think I pulled out of there. Wasn't paying all that much attention. Ah, this room. I'm getting this. No, there wasn't anything in there. Let's see what's down here. Defeat all enemies. Whoa. Oh, one of them's homing. That one's homing. You die first. Pretty sure one more hit and I go down. But, that said, I think that's the last one in there, so. Alright, so some magic power, so I think we'll actually do more damage now. We do have one more mana, I think. This is like a preview of the boss fight with Alexander right there. Me very nervously twitching. I need to go get this. And off we go. Alright, well this is significantly easier than normal. Flight is something you can invest in runes. It gives you flight time. But I don't think it's worth it. I mean, because you're given free flight on a dragon, it's pretty much a no-brainer. That was close. I got caught up on that corner there, believe it or not. Alright. The hope here is that I don't take damage in the castle, and that's kind of been not happening. Oh. Okay, I definitely need to not stop flying, because if I stop flying, I will most likely, just based on, you know, the way things tend to work when permadeath is at play, I'll likely be above a pit of spikes. Pit of spikes won't be lethal to me just yet, but, it, you know, why take damage when you don't need to? I really am rethinking my decision to not... Oh, okay, this is a boss fight. Need to wrap around. Damn. Oh, this is going to be hellish. Okay, none of them had the right angle. Whew. Yep, that was going to be hard to dodge. Just because I was so close. Luckily, neither of them had the right angle. Okay, sweet. Don't know what's going on with that. Ha! Your ability to fire through walls has been thwarted. And victory, which means we get this awesome little chest. Oh, nice. I keep forgetting that we can now get new blueprints. Because blueprints are awesome. I thought I was going to get a stat up, which would also be great, but usually, while more expensive overall, because you have to invest in the weight to carry the new piece of armor, as well as in the new piece of armor, they usually give you more than, like, more cost-efficient improvements. Alright, where else do we even have to go in the castle? Like, nowhere else. The castle's pretty much done. Alright. Well then. We guess we're going back to... Oh my gosh, I'm silly. So tunnel vision once again actually bit me. Despite the fact that I dismissed it. Oh, we do have that font, don't we? I think I might just have to use that before going back into the forest. Because I'm pretty low on health right now. That's mana. It's pretty much useless to me, so let's go ahead and use this. It's pretty much 2 chicken legs. You know what? We're gonna pop up here real fast. Yep, because I left a chicken leg statue here, as well as... Nope, that is Maya. There was a chance that that could have still been castle. And I'll just pop in here. We'll check and see if I left any health statues. Nope, just mana statues, which don't actually do anything for me. Alright. I probably... Actually, no, there are no teleports. So we're gonna go back to the if you get hit, you don't get this treasure chest. The one that's right below me right now. We're gonna head back there. I'm going to use the D-pad here so I don't accidentally swing upwards. I'm really debating whether or not I should just permanently switch to the D-pad. It's a little bit harder to get... It feels less responsive because it's very binary. You're either pressing down an arrow or you're not. But I think it's definitely the right answer for right here. Because I can get those little tiny movements without worrying about it. Yeah, we just increased our mana by 2, which is very nice. I think I'm safe from that. The cape hitbox I'm not very confident on. But we're out. And for better or worse, I am back to the analog stick. It feels like a lot more fluid motion. Like, making this is a lot easier than, so yeah, D-pad, analog. I don't know if it's actually easier, but it feels like there's physically more effort coming from my fingers when I'm using the D-pad. Which means I just feel slow, feel like I'm not reacting fast enough. And some of those really, clutch dodges... Oh, that's right, this room was bad. I want to go through the rooms that I think are going to be bad when I've got health, so that if they are as bad as I think they are, I'm okay. Darn it. I was expecting to take one hit, not two. But that makes up for it a little bit. I really need to get the eyes. This guy is an important second. And then you, I can just sneak in between your shots. And the horse is pretty much not dangerous because it can't leave there. That went much better than expected. And also, like a lot of the times, I picked the completely incorrect direction every time. Because we've only got, I guess we've got 2 doors left, so I still have a chance to make the boss room not inevitable. Okay, I'm probably going to have to leave that. This is interesting. I'm trying to spend my invulnerable time as judiciously as possible. Darn. I was hoping to be able to get that. Oh my goodness. I was hoping to get the sack of cash, but unfortunately... Ooh. Gotcha. Unfortunately for me, it went so far off the screen that my attempt to get it led me off screen. So I need you to be over here. Very good. Alright, so here's my chance to guess correctly. And I guessed correctly. So I'm not in the most danger if I try and explore other stuff, because I do have one guaranteed drumstick right there. Oh, this is fun. I probably should have waited to destroy that just in case there was a drumstick there. I need to take care of him first, because I'm going to be in some really tight space taking care of these guys. I don't want something blocking me off even further. Let's just get this. I want to keep these quick, because if I go too low and that spike pops out, I'm going to be in trouble. Alright. So far so good. We haven't made any silly mistakes for a little while. Alright. Alright. Those are bouncing pretty heartily. I really want to get rid of that archer, but he's being blocked for... He's the most dangerous thing in this room. And he is getting the perfect cover. Alright. Whew, that was close. And we got him. And a bunch of money. Anything good out of the ceiling? Nope, just 20. Well, I mean, 20 gold's good. It's not bad. Alright, we're gonna leave those. Taking care of you, because you're actually dangerous. The horse takes a little bit of micro, but is still mostly harmless. Still haven't taken any damage in recent past, which is pretty impressive, if I dare say so myself, with the way this run has been going recently. Okay, he's actually going to be rather difficult because I can't shoot at a downward angle, but I should be safe right there. And indeed I was. So this guy's just a matter of time. spamming. I could fly over him, and maybe this one I will. Probably more time. Should be able to get right up close next to him. Luckily, he just died. And nice. Royal Bracers. We'll have to see what these do. I'm very curious myself. It's been quite a long time since my original playthrough got erased. So I haven't seen the high tier armors in a very long time. We've only got a few more rooms, possibly. Okay, so I like this room. I'm switching to D-pad, though. The only way I'm getting money from these guys is if... That was close. Okay, is if I get to their bodies, basically, before, because I'm not going to go low enough and take the damage from the spikes to get 20 gold. But if I can get it without taking the damage, I'll go for it, right? So we are down to one unexplored door. I need to remember that those pots are there. I'm still on D-pad, by the way. Before the boss, I want to give it a shot. Not sure what I ran into there. I think it was a fire. That's okay, we pretty much got what we did get all our health back from killing the next slime, which is one of the reasons why I like slimes. They're not all that strong. Hey, you could trade your fireball for a fireball. You know what, we're gonna do it. Yeah. Trade Dragon Fire for Dragon Fire. Best trade ever. Ooh, the fact that I knocked him back there was almost a huge mistake. The next part of the safe zone. That looks like a mimic. It's not, because it's on the map, and also mimics only show up in the Maya. Royal Helm. Alright. Our royal collection is almost... Actually, it might be complete. I'm not entirely sure. That's everything, so we're on to the boss. I'm going to switch back to analog for the boss. And we're going to see what I can do, because... Oh, we're gonna destroy these. I was saving them just in case I took a little bit of damage, and you know, just the random chance that maybe there was a drumstick. I am sitting up, stretching. I want to make sure that I am sitting here nice and comfortable for this boss, because it is going to be some reaction time stuff. Hello again, Alexander. It's been a while. The Forgotten. I really hope that I one-shot his skulls. That snapback is really important. I do not one-shot them. Oh god, I don't even two-shot them. That's actually really bad. It means that I'm not going to be able to destroy them very easily. Oh, darn. I was really hoping to not get hit there. I am going to be very quickly overwhelmed by these skulls. One of the downsides to being a dragon for this fight is that my spell does not pierce, which means, quite simply, that I can only hit one target at a time. Which means that I'm going to get beaten to death here, because I can't kill all the little skeletons fast enough. I'm limited by my mana regeneration, how fast it regenerates. I need to shoot... There is a mana potion there. Yep. Unfortunately, it just was not meant to be. If I could have one-shot those skulls, or two-shot even, I would have been able to regenerate some health, at least a little bit faster. 3 was probably too much. I might have been able to swing 2. It's kind of hard to say, but as you could see how fast they were building up. And because I can only fire one shot, I mean, so I've got 80 mana, right? That means I can fire at most 8 shots in spam. I don't know exactly how fast they regenerate, but they seem to regenerate about as fast as if you were to constantly fire. so it gives you the option to kind of try and do some burst damage. But pretty much a consistent fire is 1 every half second, so like 2 a second, which means that I can kill 2/3 of one of those skulls in a second. And which basically just means too, if he's spawning 1 a second, I'm hosed. And if he's spawning 2/3 of 1 a second, which is what I can take care of, which translates out to what, 1. So I'm trying to reverse that. 1.5 every second if he's spawning 1.5 of those skulls every second, or 3 every 2 seconds. That's exactly what I can take care of, which means that I would not be able to deal any extra damage to him. I'd be too busy taking care of skulls perfectly. Every shot that missed a skull and went into him would have to, like, that would be my, I would have to basically change his health into the number of skulls there would be, and that's how many skulls I'd have to deal with on screen by the end of the fight, if that makes any sense. It means that I really pretty much need to be able to overwhelm those skulls, and with a non-piercing attack like Dragon Fire, not actually useful, sadly. Yeah, I was really thinking that was going to work better. I did not think through the fact that taking care of the skulls was going to be as big of an issue as it was. I thought I'd be able to dodge around them. If there's only 2 or 3, dodging around him's easy. At the beginning of that fight, I was doing tons of damage to him, but not to be. Not to be. Well, we have the option for another dragon. Unfortunately, I think Sir Useless will in fact be useless in our goal. A gigantic ectomorph would not be good. Being gigantic is literally just increasing the size of your hitbox, both what you get hit with as well as what you can hit, because you're bigger, your sword is bigger. The benefit of being, big. Unfortunately, ectomorph means that you're skinny, so every hit sends you flying. If you are actually an ectomorph, which is actually a human body type, that is not necessarily the case, but in this case, that's what they made it mean. So being really big and everything knocking you around sounds like a really bad combination. And then we've got an Archmage. Archmages are good. Archmages are really good. The question is, do I want to try and get a trader? Because traders are really awesome, and I think the answer is I gotta try. Alright, so Assassin, Barbarian King, and Spelunker. I think I'm going to end up going with Sir Cowan. Let's check what everybody's got first. So, Assassins are pretty much crit-based. Their normal damage is a little bad, but their crits are ridiculous. That's kind of the goal. Since I haven't put a lot of points into crit, because you can increase your crit chance as well as your crit damage, what percentage you get, which basically Assassins buff, I believe, by another 50%. Not sure on the math on that one, so don't take my word on it. But they basically increase your crit damage, and I think they have a little bit of base crit strike. They seem to crit more often than everything else. But as I said, I haven't built that up very much. Those are pretty low stats on my page, or in my manor, so I'm tempted to not pick an assassin until I can pump those up a little bit. Though their special mist form is very good for stuff that's like don't take damage in this room. Very good for stuff like that. I think I'm probably going to go with a no. The other trait that Lady Charlotte has is weak limbs. So basically, enemies just don't have, there's no knockback. Which, for the fight with Alexander, is actually really, really important. Because I was talking about with those skulls, if they get in line with you, either parallel or horizontally or vertically, then they're going to be shooting things directly at you. And being able to swing at them in the arc in front of you, pretty much, it lets you knock them back and away and off of both of those those lines with you. And yeah, so having knockback is actually really important. Sir Hornsby is a Spelunker, so he's got a headlamp and he's going to pick up more money in general. We can get magic, like we can get our mana back by destroying random stuff, the chandeliers, tables, all that jazz. And the Chakram's not bad. Otherwise, relatively a relatively good character, just because he's a Spelunker, isn't as strong, won't be doing as much damage. And since we're actually kind of aiming for a boss kill at this point, not for farming gold, I'm leaning against that. I'm also just a huge fan of Barbarian Kings and Barbarian Queens. Because they're a walking tank, they have a huge health pool. Absolutely shenanigans health pool. In this case, Sir Cowan has IBS, so basically when we jump, sometimes there's a farting sound. Which, granted, is a little funny. It's pretty much a non-effect in terms of actual gameplay. It's just kind of a fun little accent. Is a savant, so I'm pretty sure that means that my knife spell will be thrown backwards. I think we're gonna go with Sir Cowan. Also, he has Barbarian Shout. Farodus. Farodu is basically what he's saying, I think. But anyway, that will also be very good in repelling the skulls. So let's look at this new armor. I want to see what we got going. Ooh, nice. So we lose some armor, but we get a ton of health and mana. Very tempting. Very, very tempting. We can't actually wear it right now, though. This is new. The Holy Chest, lower armor, higher mana, but it weighs less. Tempting, just because that's a decent chunk of mana. That's, in our case, a 7 mana spell. That's an extra, wow, I can't math. That's an extra 3 casts, which is pretty nice. So, tempting, but the loss in armor, but it does give Siphon. I missed that. That's actually really tempting. That might be something to take on a more casting-heavy class, like an Archmage, since you're already making yourself pretty much a glass cannon in a lot of those. Alright, so this is just straight up increase your magic by 18. Whew. It's going to cost us an extra 10 weight, which I think is just 1.1 level. But I like that. I actually think we're going to go with that. So, equip up. Yeah, so we gain 10 weight. So it's going to cost us basically 6,000 to make this upgrade. Because it's about 3,000 there. And another 3,000. Was it this one? Yeah. And another 3,000 there. I call worth for 18 up on magic. Considering 1 up on magic right now. Sorry, 2 up on magic is 3,000. We definitely profited there. So the question is, what do I want to max now? By the way, here is Death Defy. Yeah, we're at 15%. So a little bit worse than a 1 in 6 chance. I'm okay with that. Alright, so as I said, my crit damage and crit chance aren't all that great, but I'm not all that inclined to up those, because every single time we up something, it's upping other stuff. Like it's costing more. If I put a point into there, this isn't going to cost 6,000. It'll cost, it won't cost 6,300. It'll cost 6,400. And I think that just base damage is going to prove better overall amongst all the different classes. But also, just pumping into health would be really nice too. I have a lot of low health classes that I enjoy playing. Barbarian King is one of the reasons why I like Barbarians is because they have that health buff, basically, in comparison to the other classes. This is a tough decision. As I've mentioned in the past, I'm not all that keen on weight up. As we get stat increases, weight eventually has its limit. So I'm kind of hoping we pick up some of those weight buffs before I find the really cool armor that I really want to wear that right now. But armor is just going to reduce how much damage we take. A lot of these are really low because I focused on maxing all the other stuff. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put a point or 2 in here. I think we're going to put some more points in armor. We've got 10,000 left to spend. That should give us This is 65. That'll leave us with 35. So yeah, we'll put one more here. And we'll put... Ooh, how close can we get to 4,000? Okay, can't put one in armor. Not interested in putting one in weight. If I put one in mana up, I won't have enough left. Looks like crit chance is actually the next thing, the thing that's gonna cost the most. So let's do it. I'm not entirely against putting points into there. And then let's see what I can afford here. I'm literally just going to buy armors that I don't need. Because there's no point in saving all this money. In fact, I might have already done this enough. There we go. It will automatically equip them, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. Getting ourselves to as low as money as we can. Ooh. Okay, for a second I saw the 190, went, oh my gosh, that's my base damage, but it was a crit. Oh. Okay, so Savant means that I'm going to switch up my spells. This is actually pretty good. It looks like our rotations are Chakram. We do have axes. Those, which I can't remember what they're called, they're scythes. Knives, and blade wall. That means that this could actually give us a really good chance of finding those rooms that have the possibility of giving us fairy chests by killing enemies and being able to take care of them. I don't think we can get Crowstorm. It would be very good to know if we can't get Crowstorm, but considering that we tried that the one time and it just didn't happen, I'm willing to accept that it's probably not going to happen. Still, I feel pretty good. We've got a giant health pool. Look at that, 683. Well, there's the IBS. I am going... Oopsie, I do not want to do that. Ran to the wrong person. I do want to change this back to a balanced rune. I don't think we're going to need mana as much as we're going to need health, so I'm okay with only having one of the runes being balanced. But I think it's good enough to call it there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was a lot of fun. Having 2 Death Defies after not seeing it like at all is actually really fun. And it was kind of a long episode. And we got pretty far, and we died to the boss. But if you're going to die to a boss is pretty much the best way, right? And despite the fact that some of my logic there was kind of twisting, I hope you guys could follow what I was trying to say about dragons fighting Alexander and why it didn't really work out as well as I had originally hoped. Either way, thank you once again for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this is the first non-Isaac episode of the year. I know I am looking forward to 2015. I am still going to be writing my dates wrong for a little while. But I think a lot of people do that. But yeah, I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for more content. I am already trying to decide what new game to put on next. And I do have some ideas, and we will see. Once again, thanks, and I'll see you next time.